weekend of college football, one of the great times in sports as we come to this beautiful setting for football, Keenan Memorial Stadium, Chapel Hill, North Carolina. The ACC Network Game of the Week presented by Mellow Mushroom, ready to kick off the season as the Cal Bears take on North Carolina, the first ever meeting between these two football programs. It's our ACC Network Game of the Week, and we are so glad to have you with us this afternoon in Chapel Hill. Tom Wormy along with Dave Archer. DJ Shockley will join us from the sidelines in just a moment. Well, as our studio crew talked about, Dave, an amazing season in the ACC last year. We turn the page now to 2017, and for North Carolina today, Larry Fedora tells us, their head coach, we will see two quarterbacks in action.
Tight battle, Tom. We will see two quarterbacks. It'll start potentially with Brandon Harris, the transfer from LSU. He has 13 career starts. They love his run-pass combination. You'll also see Parade All-American Chaz Surratt. This is a young man that lit it up in North Carolina in the high school level, and he's a tremendous player. They potentially see a lot of big things out of him. For Cal, Ross Bowers found out he's going to start about 4 days ago. He's got 0 attempts and 1 career rushing attempt, so the uncertainty's there, but he does have a very satisfying sideline guy, and that's Demetrius Robertson, the freshman All-American wide receiver. And I want to welcome DJ Shockley, the newest member of the ACC family. Shock will perform on the sidelines for us all year long. DJ, it sounds like North Carolina might have a plan for the young freshman or sophomore wide receiver.
Yeah, Archie, spot on about that. They do have a plan, and the plan is cornerback potential All-American candidate M.J. Stewart. He is athletic, he's speedy, and head coach Larry Fedora said he is the hardest working player he has ever coached. So with that, I think they have a good chance of covering Andre Robinson. We'll see. Tom, Arch, back to you guys in the booth.
DJ, thank you so much, and we welcome you to the ACC Network. We look forward to DJ's reports all afternoon long from Keenan Memorial Stadium. Ready to get it rolling for North Carolina. Look at the history of these two programs. Cal coming cross-country to take on North On the Cal Bears. Their last day game in the Eastern Time Zone, Dave, was 2012. They lost at Ohio State 35-28. Matt Anderson is going to kick it away for Cal. M.J. Stewart and Anthony Ratliff-Williams to receive, and we're rocking and rolling from Keenan Memorial. Ratliff-Williams gains the 20 and take it down at the 25. So Brandon Harris will be the starting quarterback for North Carolina.
Tom, this
graduate student.
A very tight competition. As you mentioned, graduate student from LSU, came over during the spring. Coaching staff, namely Larry Fedora, was very impressed with how Brandon Harris was able to mesh with his new teammates.
From Bossier City, Louisiana, played in 25 games while at LSU with 13 starts, and he threw 20 touchdown passes. He'll hang on to this one and get buried under a swarm of white shirts. That's a loss of 2. Time for the Food Lion Impact players. And we'll start with North Carolina.
Well, the one veteran receiver that returns, Austin Prohl, outstanding leadership qualities. He's going to have to pick it up in the stat category for this wide receiver corps. They lost 3 of them to the draft last year.
Jordan Brown is the back to the right of Brandon Harris. Brown, a sophomore from Durham, North Carolina, on 2nd and 12. Cameron Saffel on the tackle of Jordan Brown.
When you look at the Food Lion defensive player, impact player for Cal, Devontae Downs, senior linebacker, led the team in tackles a year ago. He's got a battery mate in there, if you will, and Raymond Davidson, another linebacker that gets after the football. Off to a great start here, Tom, the Cal defense.
Saffel had that previous tackle, number 51. Gold and dark blue. Here's 3rd and 11 for North Carolina. This will be Brown. Up there the 25 and taken down. Only a gain of 1. Franklin Jr. made the tackle for California, and it's 4th down.
Boy, outstanding start for Cal, coming all the way across country. As you mentioned, Tom, their defense set the tone for the game so far for Cal. Outstanding job of defending the quick screen to the outside, and 1 net yard in that series for North Carolina.
So the Tar Heels came out with a unique formation, but now have gone into a more conventional punt formation. Tom Sheldon to punt it away. This will be Wharton, wants the fair catch as he backtracks to the 29 and makes it. Time for our Carolina Ford Keys to the Game with Dave Archer.
Well, I thought for North Carolina, this was talked about throughout our meet. I'm sorry, Cal. Balance for Cal. They'd like, because of the young quarterback, they'd like to throw the football and run it with some balance. Got to take some pressure off Bowers, the quarterback. And for North Carolina, they just want to execute. A lot of different players on both sides of the ball for them. Larry Fedora echoed this over and over in our meetings. Must execute to have any success. And there's Ross Bowers, the new quarterback. Mentioned no career attempts. His first career start, he's run the ball one time for Cal.
Wants to throw it. High percentage toss up to the 32. Robertson had the catch, but Miles Dorn came up to stop him after a gain of 2.
Well, Miles Dorn had 32 tackles a year ago, had 4 in the Sun Bowl. He shows his prowess from the safety spot here, comes up immediately and makes the tackle. So both defenses showing up here early.
Now you mentioned the Sun Bowl, Dave. Second straight Pac-12 opponent for North Carolina as they lost to Stanford in that Sun Bowl. That'll be 3 yards on that play. Time for the Food Lion impact players. More of them, Dave, out there. We start with Cal.
Well, this kid right here is a guy that can light up the scoreboard. They're excited for Demetrius Robinson's sophomore year. He was a freshman All-American a year ago, and to hear Coach Wilcox talk about a big-time player.
Coach Justin Wilcox in his first season as the head coach at California. Last year, the defensive coordinator at Wisconsin. That is a diving grab up near the 45 by Veazey. That'll be 8 yards and a first down for Cal.
Veazey, a senior, JC transfer from Golden West College, and going to have to lean on the senior some.
Driven back at the 45 and out of bounds, short of midfield. That was Watson, and he got ridden out by Donnie Miles. 5 yards for Watson on the rush.
Well, Trey Watson had just over 700 yards rushing a year ago, and he's got some pop to him as well, some speed to be able to make some big plays. Saw some of the quickness to the edge.
This is second down. Bowers the throw. That is behind Veazey and incomplete.
Good coverage by Rene that time. That was a timing throw to the outside. Bowers tried to turn it loose on the back shoulder, and Rene was right in the hip pocket of the 10-10 receiver.
Rene, the sophomore from Alexandria, Virginia. That brings up 3rd and 5 for the Cal Bears.
There's Coach Wilcox over from Wisconsin. You can tell he was dialed in early in the game.
And now 3rd and 5 for Cal. Flag is out. Pass is complete. Beyond the 40 for Robertson. Down to the 36.
Tom, I want to bring in DJ Shockley. Shock, we were down there talking to some of the coaches, and it looked like Wilcox was pretty dialed in before this thing started.
That penalty.
Yeah, he was. We tried to come up and just talk to him briefly, and you could tell he was laser focused. He had that tunnel vision, and he was ready to go. So I guess it's a good thing early that he was locked in. His team is playing like it.
They sure are. They've started at a high level, certainly on the defensive side, which you'd expect, because that's been his side in his career.
Cal declined that penalty against North Carolina. Now Bowers, that pocket starting to collapse, got it away. That's Wharton. Makes a move at the 15 and dives down to the 10 for California. Donnie Miles on the tackle.
Well, MJ Stewart falls down on this play. Tom, as we look back at it, MJ Stewart, number 6, is going to fall down right there, runs into the official and goes down. And a good job by Wharton to realize he was clean and push this ball to the 10-yard line.
Cal got 26 yards of the previous play. And now 1st and goal for Cal. Bowers, end zone. Bouncing around.
It's a dueling catch.
It's a touchdown.
Yeah.
The ruling is a touchdown in the back corner of the end zone. It was Veazey against Sales, and the officials say Veazey won that battle for Cal.
Well, if the ball didn't touch the ground, and Carolina contending that the ball might have hit the ground, but KJ Sales waving his hand saying no, it didn't catch. But let's take a look. Excellent patience, little pump route on a hitch and go, and now this is going to be a catch by both guys. Look at the ball concentration. to reel that in. And as they look at this, it almost looks like Sales has possession of the football. But if they determine it's a combination catch, yeah, no, the ball's out. It's a good job by Sales. I think they'll evaluate this and call this an incomplete pass. He does not have control of the ball when he goes to the ground. Ball is loose. I think our high end zone shot was probably a better shot. Oh, I can't believe it. Yeah, this is a miss here. The ball's still loose, and out. Still off the ground from both players. I think that was one that kind of slipped by him. Yeah, no control of the football until they rolled over.
So Cal gets the first points of our game. They lead it 7-0. We'll be back after a word from your local ACC station. Let's get out of the sidelines and DJ Shockley.
There are a lot of unknowns for this team. They talked about it. Coach Fedora talked about it in the open. He wants this team to fight through adversity. That's the first thing they talked about when they came off the sidelines. We have adversity. What are we going to do? We knew we were going to get it. Now we got it.
That's a great point, Shock. And there's so many new people on this team. He's not sure who's going to respond how.
1st and 10 from the 25. Chaz Surratt is back in for this series. Brandon Harris is in for North Carolina for the first 2 series of our game here in the first quarter. 4:57 to go. 7-0 Cal. Surratt complete. That's going to be Fritz up near the first down marker.
And Tom, when we talked to Larry yesterday, he talked about how his 2 tight ends, Brandon Fritz and Carl Tucker, had really performed well in training camp. I was looking forward to watching these guys come out here and play when the lights come on.
1st and 10, left side, breaking through, Michael Carter. 8 yards for Michael Carter, the freshman. Downs on the tackle.
In Navarre High School, Navarre, Florida, 2,500 yards rushing his senior year.
Carter again. Carter down the sidelines. Trying to outrace that secondary, and he's wrestled down near the 10, and a flag comes out as Downs made the tackle.
Boy, check out the patience, good blocks, but the patience of the young runner, Carter, and look for a face mask right here at the end.
Personal foul, face mask, #1 defense. Half the distance to the goal line. That's an automatic 1st down.
Let's go down to DJ.
Yeah, guys, it's a little bit different as far as the quarterback splits it in and out. We talked about the adversity on defense. Now your offense picking you up. Surratt coming in, making plays. It's going to calm this team down. But it's a little bit tougher when you have to switch in and switch out as a quarterback. It's a little different, but hey, you find a way to make it work, and Surratt's doing it right now.
1st and goal for the Tar Heels. 3:45 to go in the first quarter. Trying to provide an answer to Cal's opening points. Surratt flips it to the front corner of the end zone. And it's a touchdown, North Carolina. Michael Carter gets it in.
Boy, what a nice job by Coach Kaplovic, the offensive coordinator for North Carolina. You saw Surratt look to the sideline. They changed the play because they were outnumbered to that side. Option play outside. Surratt with the clean pitch. And then the speed of Carter to the corner. That came in from the sidelines. Excellent job by North Carolina to recognize a look. They could get the ball in the end zone.
2 yards on the run from Michael Carter, and the freshman has his first touchdown of the season. It is Freeman Jones now for the extra point, the junior place kicker. Carolina has tied it. 7-all, 3:33 to go in our first quarter.
I think it's so important to have a guy like that, just as Shock talked about. I mean, when you can take some of those responsibilities off the quarterback, like calling out where protections are, blocking schemes, it frees his mind up to do his gig.
From the 11-yard line, Beck. A lot of credit to the grounds crew here at North Carolina. We had some steady rains yesterday, heavy at times, and some drizzle and mist prior to kickoff here on the ACC network. Bauer's pass is incomplete. He was looking for Wharton. He is one of 6 different receivers that Bowers has used, but unsuccessful on that collaboration. Our 1st and 10 line is brought to you by your Honda dealers of the Carolinas. This year, don't settle for less than a Honda.
You know, a key little thing happened there as you start to transition to be a leader on the team. Bowers, as soon as he threw the ball and it was incomplete, when Wharton got up, he patted himself and said, "It's my fault. That's my fault." Those are little things that most people won't recognize, but good leadership qualities there to let him know, hey, don't worry about it. I'll get the ball to you.
Watson past the 30 to the 32, and Andre Smith on the tackle. That's 5 yards for Cal on 2nd down. Brings up 3rd.
Now, when you talk about this offense and what Cal's doing, Eastern Washington's former head coach, Bo Baldwin, runs this offense, and it's the Eastern Washington offense, which means you spread the field, make sure you get the right call from the sideline, but the screen game is really important. We saw a little bit of it right there.
Baldwin won a national championship at the football championship subdivision level back in 2010 as the Eastern Washington head coach. Now 3rd down. We'll see what they dial up. Bowers, the quick flick to the 35. It's going to be well short of the 1st down as Wharton made the grab.
MJ Stewart is right in his hip pocket here, Tom, and this is why they love this kid. He's the wide side of the field. You're playing man coverage, and he knifes to the inside, makes the tackle. It's good play on the ball, good catch. But Stewart, because he was so close, they don't pick up the 1st down.
Yeah, a couple of yards short for Cal, so they'll bring out the punter, Klump. Austin Prohl will range back near his 20-yard line. Klump the punt. Prohl, the late signal for the fair catch, and made at about the 24-yard line. 43 yards on that punt from Dylan Klump.
Talking to Austin Prohl yesterday, he's had a pretty good guy returning kicks here in front of him for quite a while, and Ryan Switzer. And he was really excited about here his senior year. He's now going to get to be the guy. He had been the backup to Switzer, and he's excited about his opportunities to return some kicks.
3rd and 1 for North Carolina. They were 2nd best in the conference on 3rd down last year. This one might be short, and did the ball come out too? A lot of players scurrying for that football. Looks like Downs might have knocked it free. Also see a penalty marker coming out. And the indication is that California has the football, Dave.
Late fumble here. The ball comes out late. Carter looks like he's fighting for extra yardage. Ball comes out late. And a good job by Cal to scramble in and get the 1st turnover. Good job in the middle of the defense right there.
And that was on 3rd and 1. Ross Bowers, the sophomore, is the quarterback. Trey Watson on the call. Try to move that pile inside the 45-yard line and get 5 yards on the play. Aaron Crawford making the tackle for North Carolina.
There's been so much talked about how Cal lost some outstanding players. California, their main running back, ran for just under 850 yards. Davis Webb, the outstanding quarterback. These young guys are filling in pretty good.
And Weary dropped for a loss. Patrice Rene -1 on the play for California.
True switch up when you start talking about these two backs. Watson about 205 pounds, a little bit more side-to-side movement, and Weary is a pounder. He weighs 245 pounds, downhill guy.
Jalen Dalton, number 97, also there. 2 of 5 on 3rd down in the game for Cal, and will they get this play away? In the final seconds of the quarter, they are in no hurry, and they will not snap it as time has run out in the quarter. So North Carolina and Cal, for the first time ever, we're all tied at 7. This is ACC football presented by Mellow Mushroom. 7-all as we start the 2nd quarter. Tom Wormy, Dave Archer, DJ Shockley on the sidelines. Those are our 1st quarter stats, and these stats, Dave, are brought to you by GlaxoSmithKline.
Yeah, very distinct difference. You got Cal 93 yards passing, and North Carolina getting it done on the run. You look at the 3rd down conversion, they've been able to stay on the field. Surratt and Harris. You see the differences in the 2 total yards, and the 2 quarterbacks that affect the game more on the ground.
3rd and short. Cal is going to get this one, and Weary bouncing off tacklers. inside the 40-yard line. Needed to get to the 39. He's got enough. 4 on the run by Vic and Weary, the senior.
Yeah, look at this offensive line. The right side of the offensive line, all freshmen, but a nice move in the backfield to avoid the linebacker, Casey Collins. A good hard running by Weary, 245-pound banger.
Watson will be the back now for Cal as North Carolina sets its defense. That ball on the turf, and all Bowers can do is pounce on it. Back at about the 33-yard line, Dave.
Yeah, he did not watch the snap. And look, this is going to be a sprint out to his right. He just doesn't watch the ball. It's like a wide receiver catching a pass. He just doesn't look it in. And so the ball slips away as he's trying to get out on that sprint out play. Those are kind of some of those unforced errors you're going to have to live with a young quarterback that hasn't a lot of experience. So that'll be a learning moment for him right there.
Cal losing 9 yards on that play. Quick toss. Robertson. The play does not develop thanks to M.J. Stewart, the senior from Arlington, Virginia.
Really quick diagnosis by number 6. Remember, they see a combination coverage. Stewart to the inside. He saw it immediately. He saw the outside or the other receiver blocking. So he immediately shot down and took away the quick screen.
Third and 21. The 9th play of the drive for Cal. They'll run it with Watson. Conservatively, it's down to about the 26 or 7-yard line. 8 yards for Watson. So on 3rd and 21, Cal decides to keep it on the ground with 11:40 and rolling to go in the second.
Good stop. Remember, this was a short field opportunity after the turnover, so a good stop by the North Carolina defense to force a field goal attempt.
This will be Matt Anderson with the field goal attempt from 45 yards away. Anderson for his career 40 of 47. And now Anderson is 40 of 48.
Yeah, a little bit of a surprise there. Semifinals for the Lou Groza Award. Big time kicker.
So Coach Wilcox's team comes up empty. We're still tied at 7 in Chapel Hill. Those shots of the statue of Charlie Choo Choo Justice, one of the all-time greats here at North Carolina. 1948 National Player of the Year, Choo Choo Justice, Dave.
Yeah, a long line of excellent players. There's the 22-yard line. See it painted in Carolina blue. And boy, they have some really good players here. Choo Choo, one of those.
Twice a runner-up for the Heisman Trophy. Busting outside is Brown. He's got first down yardage beyond the 40 for North Carolina. Deron Brown had the tackle, but it's 10 yards for Jordan Brown, the sophomore from Durham.
Elijah Hood and T.J. Logan are gone. Didn't know how the young backs would fare, but excellent job of getting to the perimeter. Good job of keeping his feet alive.
Brown again trying to stretch that field. Ridden out by Downs up beyond the 45 to the 47-yard line as we go down to DJ Shockley.
Guys, you mentioned the simplified game plan here. There's been a simplified game plan for both of Brandon Harris and Chaz Surratt. We've seen draws, we've seen runs on first and second down, trying to get them into manageable situations. But this is a very simplified game plan to keep these guys comfortable, but also making sure they're staying on track offensively.
And two guys probably shocked they were a little bit better runners and a little bit more natural runners than Trubisky was. So they're kind of playing to their strengths.
This pass into Cal territory, fighting for the first down is Brandon Fritz. North Carolina had been 0 for 4 on third down. This one has been converted, and the chains will move.
Fritz only had 6 receptions a year ago. He already has 2 here in the first 2 quarters.
Brown down to the 25-yard line, a couple of yards short of a first down.
I think all of a sudden now these 2 offensive lines, both for Cal and North Carolina, are kind of settling in and starting to get the other team's defense blocked.
Harris has enough for a first down to the 22-yard line as Downs made the tackle after 4 yards.
Tom, this was a quick pass, so the ball had to come out of Harris's hands immediately if he was going to throw it. Short routes on the outside. He didn't like how tight the coverage was, and you see his athleticism to find a little hole and hit it up for the first down.
8:45 to go in the second quarter. Michael Carter has the touchdown run for North Carolina. Trying to add to that total. Looking for the end zone. Leaping for it. Anthony Ratliff-Williams had it go off his fingertips.
Well, Brandon Harris tries to be too careful with this throw. He kind of pulls the string. He's so open. See, he just kind of lofts it up in the air instead of throwing it like he naturally would. Ratliff-Williams tries to climb ladder. Might have tried to turn around and make the catch too soon. He keeps running. Shock, what do you got on that one?
We saw these guys warming up in pregame. In the pregame, I saw about 3 or 4 of those exact type routes, exact type of throws, and they all were overthrown. And it's kind of transferred here in the game as well.
I just thought he tried to be too careful with that one and ended up overthrowing.
That one is incomplete to Thomas Jackson. And Hawkins was closing quickly on Thomas Jackson, the senior from Charlotte. Our 1st and 10 line brought to you by your Honda dealers of the Carolinas. This year, don't settle for less than a Honda.
Well, Tom, much like North Carolina did after that short field opportunity, the defense found a way to get a stop. Cal now trying to get out of this drive where North Carolina's worked it down the field.
Tar Heels are 2 for 2 on 3rd down in this drive. Harris felt the pressure over the middle and incomplete. Looking for Brandon Fritz, the tight end. That brings up 4th down for North Carolina.
Looked like Paquette, the big defensive end. Luke Paquette was the guy that got the pressure on Harris. Paquette just 4 games in 16, but he's going to come straight in. There he is, right in the number 93, circles in and really forces Brandon Harris's hand. He had to get rid of the football.
So Freeman Jones, junior kicker from 39 yards away. Jones knocks it through. North Carolina takes the lead 10-3 here in Chapel Hill. And we'll be back after a word from your local ACC station. Freeman Jones, who will kick it away, his first field goal in a North Carolina uniform as he converted from 39 yards away to make it 10-7 North Carolina. It's going to be Davis. Looks like he slipped shy of the 15. They'll pass it this time. It's complete to Noah. He's got enough for another 1st down beyond the 40-yard line and 14 yards.
The quick screen to the outside to Noah. He's the 3rd inside receiver. Got 2 blocks out in front. And back-to-back 1st down plays for Cal. Cal trying to play with a little bit more tempo here, Tom.
Counter by Noah, the sophomore from Honolulu, Hawaii, on the catch. Laird left side. Just a couple for Laird, the junior. Aaron Crawford, number 92, on the stop for the Tar Heels. Don't forget, next Saturday, prime time on the ACC network. We'll start you with the Blitz at 7, and then we've got Louisiana Monroe and Florida State, number 3 for the moment. They take on number 1 Alabama tonight in Atlanta. Bowers with the time. Back to the middle of the field, and it's jarred away by Miles Dorn from Demetrius Robertson.
And Miles Dorn comes down and drops the hammer on Demetrius Robertson. And the big timer, they've kept the big timer from making any plays, and part of that was the physical play of the safety Dorn. Excellent protection for Bowers. And then Dorn lays the wood.
Yeah, Robertson set freshman school records for receptions and yards last season for Cal, number 8 in white. 4 of 8 on 3rd down of the game for California. Bowers ducks out of the pocket. His pass intercepted. Donnie Miles, the pick for the Heels.
Well, just a mistake by the young quarterback here. He wants to throw this same route to the inside, but the pressure forces him out of school.
Surratt kept it.
Yeah, really well defended by Cal. They stretch out the play. Surratt was looking at the edge player. It looked like Looney. He was reading Looney to try to hand off or keep. But North Carolina really strung the play out on both sides and get the young quarterback on the ground for a loss.
Coach Fedora, 5-0 in home openers. In fact, he's got 25 home wins, Dave. That is the most by any North Carolina coach in the history of the program through 5 seasons. Brown spinning. He's got a first down near the 20. Jordan Brown, 15 yards and a first down.
Now just 190 pounds, but Brown runs like a 230-pounder here. It's a screen to the outside, good block out in front by Tucker, the tight end, and then it's hard running by Brown.
First and 10 for the heels. Surratt rolling it and running out of bounds near the 15. Folks, we want to apologize for any transmission issues that we're having. We are working hard to rectify those situations. Just temporary. Again, we apologize for the transmission issues here from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. 10-7. The Tar Heels have the lead. They are working off an interception by Donnie Miles, trying to turn it into points.
That's an offense that was pretty efficient. 65% is kind of middle of the road when you talk about Carolina's ability to convert an opportunity in the red zone. You think about all the weapons this North Carolina team lost off that side of the ball, and I think there's some real bonuses and pluses for North Carolina when you start looking at some of these young guys who are stepping into key roles for the first time.
Yeah, Mitch Trubisky threw for over 3,700 yards and 30 TDs. That pass inside the 10. Marked at the 9-yard line. Carl Tucker, first down, Tar Heels.
Really good job by Chaz Surratt here. He's got the tight end running the out with the quick one in the flat. He gets the ball on Tucker immediately. It's a well-thrown, tight spiral, good location with the ball, and another conversion on third down.
Takes 3 Bears to bring down Tucker. His 3rd catch of the game.
And looking to the sideline, this is something that is a little bit more deliberate from North Carolina than a few years ago.
This is the 9th play of the drive on 1st and goal for North Carolina. Surratt cannot get away at the 10-yard line.
It's a design quarterback draw for Surratt. And Brown in on the tackle. It initially looks like it's got a chance. They get the corner blitzing off the edge, but 2 missed blocks. One by Ratliff Williams coming to the inside. And then on the outside, Surratt was having to avoid people and not be able to get downhill.
North Carolina was 8th in the conference in red zone offense last year. 36 touchdowns, and they scored 84% of the time. We go inside of 3 minutes toward the first half of North Carolina. 2nd and goal. Surratt flips it out. Michael Carter upended near the pylon and a touchdown.
Wow, what an effort. What an effort. Wearing TJ Logan's number. Watch the young guy go high and break the pylon, break the plane. And the youngsters in the end zone. What an outstanding effort. The front part of that, and it's amazing him getting in over the top like that, but a really good job by Chaz Surratt to force the issue, make the defenders come to him, and then the pitch, let the youngster Carter do the acrobatics.
Did he recognize the location of the pylon, Dave, in midair, mind you?
Well, I think he had an idea. He was close enough to go airborne. I think that had he been at the 5, he probably tried to make a fake, but he knew he was close enough. And that's some of the excitement that North Carolina has here on the campus for these 2 young running backs that can really get it done.
A 9-yard touchdown run, his 2nd of the game for Michael Carter. Smile and flex and get a high five. Why not?
I got to think that that's going to be one of the highlights on all the shows around the country when you talk about college football.
Unanswered points for North Carolina. Michael Carter's 2nd TD run of the game. This is ACC football presented by Mellow Mushroom. Chaz Surratt leading North Carolina on that most recent drive as Michael Carter with the acrobatic touchdown run from 9 yards out.
Yeah, both touchdown drives have come with the redshirt freshman at quarterback for North Carolina. So getting some good play out of those 2 guys.
Yeah, we've seen Brandon Harris and Chaz Surratt at quarterback. North Carolina, 90% of their offense did not return this season. This is Davis on the return. And Davis diving for the 20-yard line. It is a 20-yard return. North Carolina stopping and weary. He lost 4 on the play. Crawford, Bell Jr. By the way, Dave will be in Tallahassee next week as North Carolina's D comes up big.
Excellent penetration up front for North Carolina. Dalton is the guy that really kind of forces the play to slow down. And then Crawford comes in, number 92, to dust him off. But excellent job by those interior guys.
Our game next week, Louisiana Monroe and Florida State in Tallahassee. Coverage starts 7 p.m. Eastern. That's Saturday. ACC Network Game of the Week presented by Mellow Mushroom. Here's third down for Cal. Bowers through the progression. Still scrambling. And just has to throw it away near the North Carolina bench. And a flag came out. Very end of the play as Bowers got rid of it, Dave.
Yeah, it's a poor decision by Dalton here to squeeze the triggers because he forced him into a throwaway.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 97 defense. 15-yard penalty. That's an automatic first down.
Well, just a bad because they forced Bowers out. It's a 3-man rush, so a lot of time, good protection, good scramble by Bowers. Now he's forced him to throw it away. Just let him throw it away. And really, Bowers is probably lucky, and will be interesting to see if they get a call on this for a targeting. Yeah, they're going to get a targeting call. They're going to. I will be surprised if they don't get a call down.
Well, Dalton has gone to the sidelines. Bowers felt the pressure again, got rid of it, complete inside the 40. Wharton racing to the goal line, and he gets there for Cal. Vic Wharton made the catch and the throw from Bowers.
You see the Cal faithful responding. There's a good bit of Cal fan. Watch this kid stand in the pocket and wait on this. You talk about courage now. He's got 300-pounders coming from all angles. He takes a huge shot as he lets it go. He waited long enough. Wheel route by the slot receiver. Vesey up the side. I'm sorry, by Wharton. Wharton squeezes it and shows the speed to get it in the end zone. That's an incredible play by the quarterback Bowers.
Second TD pass of the game for Ross Bowers. Had a 10-yard TD pass in the first quarter, and now 67 yards, Dave Archer. Well, that pass to Vic Wharton. Matt Anderson able to add the extra point. So the teams will head to the locker room. North Carolina with a 17-14 lead. We saw 2 quarterbacks employed by North Carolina. Coach Wilcox and his team coming across the country, trailing by 3 as we go down to DJ.
All right, Coach, I know you weren't extremely excited about how the quarter and a half ended, but what did you like about your quarterbacks there in the first half? Both went down and had scoring drives. What did you like about both of them?
I thought both of them handled the situation pretty good. You know, we didn't want to throw that pick there at the end. I mean, we had a chance to get into field goal range.
I know you gave up something big on the defensive side of the football, but you weren't giving up a lot of stuff to Demetrius Robertson. What do you think you got to do in the second half to slow it down?
Well, we got to have to get pressure on the quarterback. That's all we got to do is get some pressure on the quarterback. We got defensive. We're playing really good. We had a really poor decision there on one play, and then they made a big play.
All right, Coach, thank you. Have a good second half. Second half adjustments have to be made by North Carolina. Can't turn the football over, but they're up 17-14, which is a good thing. Katie, Coach, Stan, you guys in the studio.
North Carolina and Cal. East meets West for the first time ever. 17-14 is the halftime lead for North Carolina here at Kenan Memorial Stadium. Tom Wormy and Dave Archer with you. Dave, an interesting first half. You had North Carolina score 17 unanswered points, but how about that late TD toss by Cal and Ross Bowers?
Yeah, I think Ross Bowers has been extremely poised. His first chance to play, he's over 170 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. He's been impressive.
All right, Dave, here's a look at our halftime stats presented by Dish.
Yeah, the run game for North Carolina has been impressive. Obviously, the passing plays and the big throw for Bowers is where the bread's being buttered for Cal. But I think both offenses have been maybe a little bit better than we thought, and both defenses have been pushed around a little bit. But for more on Cal, let's go down to DJ, who caught up with Justin Wilcox.
Thanks, fellas. All right, Coach, you found some rhythm in that first half. Your young quarterback play was. Assess the play of your young quarterback to start that first half.
I think he's doing a good job, making a couple of decisions I'm sure he'd love to have back, but I loved how he bounced back from a mistake and made a big play for us. I think he's going to continue to do just as well in the second half, so fired up for him.
North Carolina rushed for 148 yards in that first half. What do they have to do defensively to slow them down?
Yeah, the quarterback run's a big part of their game plan. We got to get them off schedule earlier in the series, create some more second and third and longs. They've done a nice job, but we got to do a better job setting edges, running the ball, and tackling.
Awesome. Thanks, Coach. Have a good second half.
All right.
Arch, Tom, back to you guys.
DJ Michael Carter led the way for North Carolina rushing, 71 yards and a couple of TD runs, one of 2 yards and 9 yards in the second quarter for North Carolina. They also got a field goal in the second quarter from Freeman Jones from 39 yards away. But give Cal credit, Dave, that late touchdown pass. Ross Bowers, 67 yards as he hit Vic Wharton.
Yeah, I've really been impressed with Ross Bowers' poise. He took a monster hit before he threw the touchdown. In fact, Jalen Dalton, the defensive player for North Carolina, was thrown out of the game for the targeting. Bowers bounced back about 2 plays later and made that long throw for the touchdown. So I'm impressed with his poise, really with both quarterbacks for North Carolina as well.
Ready for the second half. This is Davis, and he wants to go through the end zone. 14 of 21, 176 yards. And those 2 TD passes, the 1 interception by Donnie Miles for North Carolina. 1st and 10, and now Watson.
There's a degree of play that you have to kind of hold. Cal is known for putting out some pretty good quarterbacks. And recently, obviously, Jared Goff, the first player taken in the draft by the Rams. And last year, Davis Webb went in the middle rounds to the Giants, I believe. And so they've got a degree. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers out there as well. A guy I played with is Steve Bartkowski. A lot of good quarterbacks out of Cal. Cal got North Carolina spread out with 5 receivers.
Over the middle near the 40. Wow, what a catch from Noah. Had to go upstairs to get it, Dave, and he collected 14 yards.
Yeah, it takes a lot of gumption and guts to go inside with the ball up high like that and go catch, especially with Miles has drilled a couple of people already. Excellent job there to make the catch by Noah.
Watson has the carry for 4 yards for Cal.
Well, again, Cal kind of sticking to their game plan. Throwing periodically, but doing a good job of keeping their backs. Remember, our keys to the game for Cal was to stay balanced, and I think they've done a nice job of balancing Bowers as a young quarterback throwing it, and their 2 outstanding running backs.
They had that 67-yard pass play for a touchdown to Vic Wharton near the end of the first half. Wharton's longest catch of his career. 3 catches, 97 yards. He's the leading receiver for Cal. Vic Wharton. Another pass attempt. Bowers stepped up. Incomplete. Looked like KJ Sales had a hand in there to deflect it away from Robertson.
Yeah, good tight coverage in the secondary. Sales being the guy that knocks it out here. Good protection up front. He's able to climb in the pocket as Bowers through the ball. Ball maybe a tad behind on the throw to Noah, and it allows Sales to get the left hand in and bat it out.
The crowd responding to 3rd down for Cal. They are 4 of 11 on 3rd down against his Carolina defense. Pressure off the edge. Bowers gets away. An open man down the sideline. Patrick Laird inside the 20. Look at Laird stay on his feet and get to the end zone for a touchdown. What a play by Cal on 3rd down. 54 yards.
Well, give Ross Bowers the bulk of the credit here. Obviously, outstanding running late by Laird. Look at Bowers deal with the traffic, buy some time, and then finds Laird. North Carolina makes a mistake on coverage, leaves Laird alone. An excellent running at the back end. Good job by Laird to get it in the end zone. Laird's right back here. He gets lost in coverage. Let's see how North Carolina tries to sort this out. Going to have a corner fire off the edge, and you saw him bump the back off and let him go. When the back slips out, that's an opportunity. He's got to come off of his blitz to stay with Laird. He did not. And a good job by Bowers to keep the play alive and get it to Laird down the sideline.
On the 3rd TD pass of the game for Ross Bowers. That one to Patrick Laird. California has taken the lead over North Carolina. 21-17, 4:23 to go in the third quarter. 54 yards on the pass play to Laird. The numbers now for Bowers, 249 yards in those 3 TD passes, but the last 2, 67 yards and 54 yards. Ratliff Williams goes to the 22. They'll mark him at the 21. Brandon Harris is the quarterback for North Carolina. Harris on the run for a short gain. Down to DJ.
Guys, you were just talking about the things that happened on that last drive. Just saw Andre Smith go down to the defensive backs and come back down and say, hey, we got to stay disciplined, especially when the quarterback's moving. And Donnie Miles comes right back down and tells the defensive line and the linebackers, guys, we got you. We will make sure that we stay locked on to our guys. Keep doing your job, and we'll make sure we do ours.
That's what it takes is communication between the two sides. No finger pointing. Stay together.
This one is up for grabs and taken by Cal. Deron Brown on the deflection, interception, ball back to the Bears at the 27-yard line of North Carolina.
Well, again, the quarterback's eyes, and that's what's killing Harris here, is he's eyeballing the receiver. Davidson is going to he's going to bat the ball in here. Number 31, the linebacker, is going to bat the ball in here. Remember, he's going to, those inside guys, they're in a zone. They're going to follow the quarterback's eyes. And Harris, he looks at the slot all the way. Well, Davidson's tracking him all the way. He just bats the ball in the air. Nice play to get it by Deron Brown. But another play to prevent a short field opportunity for this Cal offense.
Third turnover by North Carolina. Cal has not scored. Previous 2 turnovers by the Tar Heels. Trey Watson forced backwards. See Cason Collins, number 23. Aaron Crawford also, sophomore.
But really, Tom, all you're looking for, obviously you want to break every play. You like to take every play to the house. But you want to get the reasonable amount of yardage for each down to keep the chains moving. And a good job of pressing the hole by Watson. And he kind of leaned forward for 4 yards.
Don't forget next Saturday in primetime, Louisiana Monroe in Tallahassee to take on Florida State. Seminoles playing Alabama tonight in Atlanta. And a coverage sack for North Carolina, Malik Carney. A loss of 1 as Carney has the sack and the flex.
Well, 5.5 sacks a year ago for Carney. Does a nice job of kind of crushing the pocket. As Tom said, he's right out there on that right side. And he folds back in. As Bowers escapes and climbs up in the pocket, Carney comes off his block to make the play. But that was exactly as Tom said, a coverage sack here. Don't be surprised to see a screen of some kind from Bowers.
4 receivers for Bowers on third down. Has to step up and flip it. It's intercepted. Andre Smith across midfield. Smith racing for the end zone. Does he have enough in the tank to get there? He does not. Robertson pulled him down, but it's 1st and goal, North Carolina.
Talked about this kid and what he brings to the table. Got 11 tackles on near double-digit tackles in the game, and a good job of staying on coverage. And again, Tom talked about a coverage sack. This is a pressure interception. Excellent job of being on the coverage, and now he just drew the unfortunate fact that the number 1, probably the fastest player on the field, Demetrius Robertson, tracks him down. But a nice play by, I think, a guy that's really going to be in the mix for potentially one of the top defensive players in the conference, Andre Smith.
73 yards on the return and the interception of Ross Bowers. 1st and goal, North Carolina. Surratt at quarterback.
Look at this sideline scene period. Now they're going to change it based on the look from the coaches. They're going to change it. They've had some success with the option play, the quarterback draw.
Surratt to his left, flips it forward, scooped up. That's going to be an incomplete pass.
And they went to the option play. That was the look they saw. They were outnumbered. To the left side was Cal's defense, so they checked to the option and just pitched forward a little bit that time. Unfortunately, for North Carolina, probably a little bit. So it ends up being, it's kind of a negative play, but it being a positive because it was called a forward pass. But it becomes telling now a little bit for North Carolina now when you think Chaz Surratt in the game. A couple of turnovers by Brandon Harris. We told you this competition's ongoing at North Carolina. And Surratt is the guy that's got a chance to potentially punch in a third touchdown in his watch.
Surratt to the goal line, diving for the pylon. Touchdown, North Carolina. Thomas Jackson with the effort to get to the pylon for the score from 4 yards out.
Boy, did he possess this football long enough, Tom? That'll be the question I've got. It's an outstanding catch and a good quick throw by Surratt. Does he hold the ball to signify that he's caught it? Certainly looks like to me he possessed the ball enough. A lot of times the officials are looking for a tuck away or something like that. It wouldn't be surprised me if they did take a look at it. He makes a football move, and that's kind of the terminology used. He caught it and extended it. That would tell you that he had possession of it. Broke the pylon. Nice play by Jackson.
The pass by Surratt, the dive by Thomas Jackson. North Carolina players not afraid to dive for that pylon. We've seen it on a number of occasions today. And off the interception and the big return from Andre Smith of 73 yards, it culminates in the TD pass from Surratt as he found Thomas Jackson for 4 yards. First career TD pass for Chaz Surratt, the redshirt freshman. There will be no return from Cal. And Weary goes out of bounds beyond the 30 up to the 33-yard line, and he got 8.
Well, Tom, think about it. 2 short field opportunities for Cal on offense, and one resulted in a field goal. The next one results in an interception. It's almost taken back for a touchdown. They have not handled those opportunities very well.
And North Carolina has turned it over 3 times. Cal has not scored off of those turnovers. With 14 points, as Dave mentioned, for North Carolina off of the 2 Cal turnovers. 41.
It's all about taking. There's going to be things happen to you. DJ's talked about the things that happen to you in a game. How do you handle them? And North Carolina's handled them better than Cal has so far today.
And Weary trying to break free up towards the 44-yard line. Louisville coming in as the next opponent for North Carolina. They haven't met with the Cardinals since 2013. That was a loss at Louisville, which was not yet a member of the ACC. So they'll meet for the first time as ACC foes coming up next week. They haven't played them at home since 2011. Laird around the corner. It's close to a first down.
They look at North Carolina's schedule, the opening part of the season. Mentioned that 16th ranked Louisville got to go to ODU. Duke is always a battle. It's the earliest time in the rivalry between Duke and North Carolina. They played this early. Obviously, added Georgia Tech's not easy, and then you get Notre Dame. So just a nice, easy schedule to open the season for Tar Heels.
Yes, with a youthful North Carolina team, they lost at Duke last year by a single point. Now this is 3rd and short, and Weary, did he get enough, Dave? He has crossed in the Tar Heel territory, but is it enough for a first down?
It looks like they've marked him short, Tom, about a football short, and this might be a place where Justin Wilcox rolls the dice. He's got a 245-pound back that's been pretty successful in short yardage. That's the first time North Carolina's really rolled him back in that situation.
Davey also has a 285-pound back in Malik McMorris also.
Yeah, I don't think he gets to touch the ball. He's supposed to shorten somebody's neck.
So let's see what Bo Baldwin, the offensive coordinator for Cal, dials up. Watch the play clock. It's down to 8. The game clock down to 2. And they won't. That should be the end of the quarter. And it is. What a game. The Bears and the Tar Heels were headed to the 4th. It's a 3-point game here in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. The fans at Kenan Memorial Stadium ready for the 4th quarter. Cal and North Carolina, it has been an entertaining game. The lead has gone back and forth here in the second half. Now it's 4th and short for Cal. They were the best in the Pac-12 in this situation last year. They're going to pass it. Complete.
My goodness.
Inside the 30 to the 25, Malik McMorris. All 5'11", 290 pounds of them, 18 yards on the play.
Tom, this is not an easy catch either. Yes, you have to loop it over the top to McMorris. He's the big fella lined up in the backfield right there, just going to slip in the thought. Play action fake, knew that North Carolina was lined up in the line of scrimmage to take away the run. And how about the big guy reeling it in over the shoulder?
McMorris, the junior from Santa Ana, California. He's made the biggest play of the game for Cal up to this minute to keep this drive alive on 4th down and less than a yard. They toss it out to McMorris.
Yeah, his 4th career reception. Got a touchdown mixed in there as well. See the safety creeping over right here.
Bowers got it away to the end zone, and it is caught for a touchdown. Jordan Duncan went up to get it. McMorris made the play on 4th down, and it's Duncan with the TD catch, 20 yards for Cal.
And Tom, Bowers gets drilled again on this play, but he's going to stand in. He's got no backs in the backfield, little stunt. He gets hit just as he lets it go. Look where the location of the ball is. Back shoulder. And Duncan makes the grab. But look at the location of the football under pressure. Very impressive. Outstanding job by Bowers to put the ball where only his guy could get it.
How about his 4th touchdown pass of the game day in his first collegiate start? Cal has taken the lead. Ross Bowers, his 4th TD pass of the game, on the money to Jordan Duncan.
Back in a sun-splashed Kenan Stadium in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Ross Bowers, the young quarterback for Cal, has guided his team into the lead. 5 of 6 for 188 yards on 20-plus yard throws, 3 of those for touchdowns. Been really impressive as the young quarterback. And by the way, real quickly, Jordan Duncan, pretty good job of knowing offense. His offensive coordinator in high school, Brett Favre.
4 lead changes in our game and 3 in the second half after that most recent TD pass by Bowers and Cal. Brown, near side. Gets submarined by Cameron Saffel.
Yeah, really well played by Saffel, too. This is a guy that was 5th on the team in tackles a year ago, but does a really good job of playing off the block, making the play.
Ross Bowers, his first collegiate start. As Dave told you, his only stats coming into the game were 1 rush for no gain last year. Cole kind of reached out for it. Incomplete.
Really fortunate for North Carolina. This ball's not picked off. This is the most inaccurate throw that Surratt has had. And Bynum, the freshman, almost stole it. Number 24 there for Cal.
Third and 18 for North Carolina. 6 of 13 in the game on 3rd down day.
This is usually draw play or screen when you got 3rd and long. They're expecting zone out of the defense and trying to keep everything in front of them. So you try to set up a picket line for the back or receiver, try to make it a punt return.
4 receivers for Surratt. Tries to pick one out, being chased down just barely. Got it away up near midfield. It's caught for the first down. Roscoe Johnson, number 85, 21 yards.
Yeah, another freshman on the field, the redshirt freshman, but it's such a benefit to you when you have a quarterback that can move. Nothing open, buys time, gets the ball up the field for the first down.
Carter takes it into Cal territory. What a play by Surratt. Defense was bearing down on him, floated up near midfield for 21 yards. Johnson made the catch.
Yeah, he's really handled himself extremely well, has the redshirt freshman Surratt.
To throw it again. Brown inside the 40, and punishing run after the catch by Brown. He's got a first down at 11 yards.
Again, decision making. He wants to throw the ball to Prohl. He realizes time's running out, drops the ball to his back, Jordan, and another first down.
1st and 15 after they mark off the penalty. Surratt wants to take off. Tries to put the shoulder down, absorbing some contact. Got back to the line of scrimmage. No gain, Surratt. He ran into Funchess, number 36.
Yeah, he wanted the little shallow drag route, and it just wasn't there. And again, nothing happened there other than they lost 4 yards. But you get a lineup again with the ball. This kid's done a really good job of taking care of the football, and he still made plays. And that's a hard balance to make, especially as a freshman.
Surratt has a TD pass in the game that came in the 3rd quarter. Has to tuck and run, spinning away from the Cal defense. And Surratt lost 1. Luke Beckett.
Yeah, Looney, Beckett. They got a number of players coming in. Seffel, a guy that led them in sacks a year ago. So Cal trying to turn up the heat a little bit on the young quarterback. Speed up his thought process.
You mentioned Looney, Dave. He started his career at Wake Forest in his freshman season. They did not have North Carolina on the schedule, and the subsequent transfer to Cal for the senior from Lake Worth, Florida.
Well, his father and their family are actually staying in our hotel. Skip, who does a great job spotting for us, evidently entertained you into the night, or vice versa. I don't know.
Surratt trying to write his own story here. That floater is caught near the 30. Jordan Cunningham came back to the football for the grab, and 14 yards, about 3 yards short of a first down.
Yeah, but the key here is you're in field goal range if you'd like to make that decision. If you're Larry Fedora, it looks like he's going to keep his offense on the field here and go for it on about 3rd and a long 3. 4th and a long 3, I'm sorry. They're going to try to draw him offside. A lot of movement here. I think North Carolina's going to settle for a field goal, but I think he's trying to draw him off. Well, they snapped it.
Surratt, incomplete. Trying to hit Cunningham. Quentin Tartable disrupting the flow, knocking it down, and the ball is going back to the Cal Bears for the fans who made the trip across our nation. I love when Coach Bowden proceeds what he's going to say with, oh, because you know something good is coming. When he says, oh, I love that, or I don't like that, or whatever. It's always great, though.
Think how much tape that man's watched. How successful he was the coach. And him to see it unfold before it ever happens. Pretty cool.
Yeah, don't forget our Victory Formation postgame show featuring Tommy Bowden and Stan Norfleet and Katie Witham on the ACC.com. I spent 3 years in the studio with Coach Bowden. What a great man to converse with, talk football with. And now he's got Stan in there for his 2nd year, and Katie holding down the 4th with those 2 guys in our Charlotte studio.
I think we finally talked Stan out of wearing University of Virginia eyes on the show, though. It's pretty cool.
2nd and long for Cal. Bowers, the pocket is starting to deteriorate. He had to get rid of it. Incomplete pass to Wary.
I think the pocket presence for these quarterbacks have been pretty good, especially Chaz Surratt and Ross Bowers. They kind of sense when things are starting to break down. And now 3rd and 16 or 3rd and 15 here for Bold Baldwin. And the offensive coordinator got a young quarterback that's been really good today, but he's also thrown the ball to the other team in a tight game. See if he tries to protect him with his play call.
5 of 15 in this situation for Bowers and the Bears. Looking left the whole way. Over top of the secondary, and it is caught at the 40. Vic Wharton.
Boy, the deep out route on the wide side of the field tells you a little bit about Ross Bowers' arm strength. 3-man pass rush for the Tar Heels. Zone coverage. MJ Stewart just plays a little bit too soft on the play and challenged Bowers to make a throw, and he sure did, right on the sideline. Perfect location for the football for Wharton.
16 yards on the catch for Wharton, the junior from Spring Hill, Tennessee, who has a 67-yard TD catch in our game. That happened in the 2nd quarter, late in that period. And Weary will slow things down with a minimal gain. Give them 2. Watch the clock. 5:48 and rolling for Justin Wilcox and the Bears, leading by 4.
Yeah, ideally they'd like to eat as much clock as they can, Tom, before they punt it, but they'd like to get down maybe potentially in field goal range to put themselves up a full score.
3rd and 8 for Cal. Bowers on the run. He's going to have it at midfield, and he slides into second base safely. 11 yards on the scamper. Ross, Bowers, and the Sticks roll.
I think it's been fun to watch these two guys, Tom, both Chaz Surratt and Bowers, to be able to get out of the pocket, avoid the rush, sees that it's man coverage, so he finds an area. Nobody's accounting for the quarterback. And Bowers gets a big run to extend the drive, and more importantly, maybe for Cal, as he's eating clock.
Dave, we're inside of 5 minutes to go in regulation. Matt Anderson, one of the more outstanding kickers in Cal history, although his only attempt came in the second quarter and he missed from 45 yards away. That's a run maybe back to the line of scrimmage.
Hey, I want to bring shock in here, Tom. DJ, this is a time when we as quarterbacks, you like to eat the clock. The 4-minute offense sure helps when you got two backs like Cal had.
Yeah, it does. And this is a critical time and a critical moment in the game for Ross Bowers to understand how to milk this clock. You probably do it in practice all the time, but to have those two backs he has back there and the leadership they have, this is a critical moment.
Bowers working down that play clock. Big pass over the middle. It's caught. Wharton racing inside the 10, and Wharton tackled at the 5. Patrice Lene may have saved a touchdown. First and goal, Cal.
Well, North Carolina gets caught in a blitz, and actually Cal gets away with one of their offensive linemen being downfield, which is pretty interesting.
This drive for Cal, Dave, 8 plays, 66 yards. And we're headed towards 3.5 minutes of possession, and we only have 3:39 on the clock and moving. First and goal, California. Handoff. And Weary got stopped. No gain.
Yeah, Donnie Miles, the safety, comes in the box area and knifes in to make the play. So, yeah, North Carolina, paramount for North Carolina now where the clock is. They have to hold Cal to a field goal. And the young quarterback will try to milk as much off the clock as he can.
Second and goal for Cal. Tar Heels need a defensive stand. Trailing by 4. Weary carving his way down toward the goal line, just to the 1.
Boy, he's just a tough load of a guy to bring down, and Weary has been outstanding in these short yardage situations. I think he's only been tackled for no gain once today. Just continues to lean on that North Carolina defense. In Weary in the game here, Tom, I would expect something that's going to start out between the tackles. I don't think they want to run him on the perimeter here. North Carolina's got some speed defensively. Going to line him up in the pistol set here. If I was guessing, I'd expect him coming downhill.
Third and goal. To the goal line and in for the touchdown. And Weary scores from a yard out.
Again, downhill run within Weary. That's kind of what you had to expect if you were North Carolina. Andre Smith just didn't quite able to square him up. Number 10, he kind of gets him with his arm, and you're not going to stop that big guy if you can't head him up. Coach Justin Wilcox looks like he's on his way in his first game as the Cal Bear head coach to a W.
California burns over 5 minutes on the clock. 11 plays. They go 70 yards. And they add the extra point, and Weary with his 13th career rushing TD for Cal. And those fans that made the trip trading high fives on the far side of the field. Miami's closing in on a win today. Elsewhere in the ACC, Pittsburgh is leading Youngstown State also. There won't be a return from Carolina. North Carolina might have to get fancy in the final 156, Dave, if they're going to make up this deficit. 35-24. Surratt Swings away from a tackle beyond the 30. And then close to the first down for Surratt.
And a bonus here, Surratt understands that the clock is stopped right now, so he wants to get the play call in as quickly as he can so they don't lose any time off the clock.
First down yardage for Surratt. Throw up to the 40. And lunging forward. Just short of the first down is Jordan Brown. 9 yards.
Now Cal playing off, playing zone, and they're going to give the short throws to Surratt here. Try to keep the clock rolling.
There's another one underneath to Brown, but that's a first down, Dave, so the clock will stop.
Yep, quick stop the clock. And Surratt understands the urgency here. Getting the plays called very quickly.
Sends that one out towards the sideline. Ratliff Williams, he steps out. It's another first down.
And he got out of bounds. Of course, now they don't have to be the urgency to get the ball snapped. They can kind of settle into the right play call here. Again, Cal has been playing zone so far. How far do they push the Bears before they decide to play some man coverage?
14 yards on the previous play. The 38 of California. They'll swing it out. Brown lunging down to the 36 or 7. Saffel on the tackle.
Well, that's where Brown has to understand that he's got to use his speed to get the sidelines. Not going to gain very much anyway, but they get the clock stopped.
Second down, inside of a minute to go. Surratt. And the clock is going to continue to roll, but it's a first down, so the clock will stop. Surratt wants to have something to say about it. Able to get away, has to just fling it out of bounds. And now we've got 36 seconds left.
Well, the thing that unfortunately for Surratt, he's in a position where he's going to have to take a chance. He's got to try to fit it into a tight window. He can't be overly patient here. Not enough time. 36 seconds left on the clock. They need 2 scores. So he's going to have to be willing to shoot it in there.
Pressure situation for the redshirt freshman. Trying to stir up something, trailing by 11. 36 seconds left. Second down. He'll heave it down towards the goal line. It'll be incomplete, looking for Cunningham.
Now Cunningham, big receiver on the outside. Good coverage by the secondary. Tartable, the safety. And also Cameron Bynum does a good job of high pointing the ball as well.
31 seconds to go. These two teams will meet to start the season next year, but they'll be in Berkeley, California for the home-and-home series. Surratt, sturdy pocket, into the end zone. And it's incomplete, back of the end zone. Roscoe Johnson, the intended target.
Just a 3-man rush that time for Cal, so a lot of time for Surratt to try to figure this out. Just a little too tall for the throw in the end zone. But those are the shots Tommy's got to take now. He just doesn't have enough time to kind of pick and choose here. He's got to shoot the ball towards the end zone.
Don't forget the Victory Formation postgame show on the ACC.com. This is 4th down for North Carolina. Surratt chased out of there. Running for it. Surratt inside the 15. Very close to the marker.
Got to get over the ball and kill it right here. Probably burn a timeout.
It's a first down. It is a first down for North Carolina on the scramble by Surratt, and a timeout taken.
North
Carolina last year was 7-0 with the halftime lead. They led 17-14 in this one. More flags are coming out. I don't like the direction this is going, Dave.
Well, they're tackling the receivers. They know that if they give up a pass interference call, it's not going to hurt them. And so it's that point where they'll take the penalty.
Well, that's Prohl and Bynum who got tangled up on that sequence.
And this is where you are. This is a big win, obviously, for Cal to come on the road, but yeah, I'm seeing him tackle in the bottom of your screen there. And see, he's holding him all the way. Just mugging him all the way. Nothing he can do. And you wonder, when you get these situations, obviously it's just a penalty, but that's not in the spirit of the game. Tackling guys. I know you're trying to get a W. but you also put some of these offensive players in harm's way of not being expecting to be tackled or knocked to the ground when it's not, you know, it's an illegal play. It's a penalty. So I'm sure Coach Wilcox is probably not a proponent of potentially what they're doing.
And it proved to be points they needed to get the win in Chapel Hill. Surratt stumbling, but does get to the end zone. It's a touchdown. On the last play of this game, Chaz Surratt gets to the end zone with guys hanging all over him.
North Carolina, I think you got a quarterback. That young man is just going to get better. He's a tough kid. He should have been tackled to the 5-yard line. He's being wrapped up there by a defensive lineman. Steps out of that and gets it in the end zone.
So Surratt throws a TD pass and runs for a touchdown, but it's Justin Wilcox and the Cal Bears on the road against Larry Fedora and the North Carolina Tar Heels, and Cal will win this game 35-30 as Surratt scored on the very last play of the game. But in the end, Dave, Cal has enough to win on the road.
Well, they do. It's a big win for Cal and Justin Wilcox to be on the road. But I think what we saw today are two teams that weren't sure what they had from a talent standpoint and potential star standpoint. I think both teams should be rest assured there are some players on offense who are going to make plays for them.
The first all-time meeting between Cal and North Carolina goes to the Bears 35-30 as we head back to our Charlotte studios.